into the Tora team machine. The Hercules Chevrolet takes the win, and the Twister is now out. You can see on the replay at half track they were even, but then the Twister fell back. Tora continued accelerating. He'll get the victory and advance to the semifinal round. And that, of course, leaves only one bear on the starting line. It'll be Barefoot, the incredible Chevrolet that took Fred Shaver to the 1990 U.S. Hobbit Association World title against Minnesota's own Doug Spanier, the Master of Disaster. They leave the line together. It's a perfect race. And at the finish line, who can tell? Unbelievable. Both trucks bouncing all over the place. And we'll have to see a replay to determine the winner on that one. A picture-perfect airborne scream for the incredible Todd Blazer, while in the other lane, the Master of Disaster machine was equally high, but watch the landing that Spanier endures. Incredible! But the official decision is that Barefoot advances to the semifinal round. The Master of Disaster's effort will not go unnoticed. It will be a war. As you can see, the #1 qualifier, First Blood, Rob Fuchs, still looking good. And, of course, Barefoot right on his heels. Kris Chapman has Todd Blazer down at the finish line.
I don't know. It's going to be hard. I haven't ran in the left lane yet. And last time I almost endoed it, so I'm kind of worried about this other lane here. I have no idea how it's going to react on this lane.
So what kind of advice would Fred Shaver give you right now?
It's hard to say. He'd want me to win, but, you know, I don't want to roll the truck over. I'm going to do my best.
It will be a war. Who will it be, Ford or Chevrolet? Stay with us because we've got a lot more action coming up, including super modified mud racing as well. Don't go away. Here at the Saint Paul Civic Center, we've got 4 machines remaining. The barely tame Ford on the far lane and the First Blood entry. They leave the line together. Fuchs with a slight problem off the line, gets back of the throttle, almost off the cars. But he will advance to the final round over the home state machine you see. A tough break for Thomas as he had a slight advantage, especially when Fuchs had to lift right there off the throttle, getting a little sideways as he left the line, even more sideways across the cush cars, but he'll be in the final round. The question is, who will he face for the U.S. Hobbit Association Championships? It'll be Hercules, Larry Tora in the near lane, and Barefoot, Todd Blazer on the far side of the course. The defending world champ machine staged and ready. The Christmas tree lights go green. They leave side by side, but it's Barefoot on a nosedive again. Blazer trying to stop the truck, and he barely does before meeting the concrete wall. You can see on the replay the start was even, but watch this finish. Unbelievable ride for the incredible Todd Blazer. He'll advance to the final round. Let's take an isolated look at this landing. Unbelievable. Boy, he's steering in there and hitting the brakes at the same time. And he has survived to the final round, and survive is the key word here in St. Paul. Keep in mind, these drivers have been through 4 rounds of eliminations and qualifying. And in the final round, it will now be a war. Even though the Barefoot Chevy did not qualify that well, Rob Fuchs, the pole qualifier, of course, goes into the final to take on one of the most feared trucks in the sport. The young independent from Woodstock, Illinois, has been picture perfect all day long with wheel standing starts like this first round effort. Could have the power to overcome it. We'll see. We're back in Tallahassee, Florida, getting ready for the Camel Shootout. Look at this pit. Solid clay, yet no ruts. That means that the track is still soupy and may not be able to offer the traction these drivers are hoping for. The 4 quickest qualifiers are back and ready. And Ron Smith's Gold Fever starts things off. Unbelievable run. Did it go out of bounds, or is it still okay? Jim Weber says it's okay down there at the finish line, and so does Smith. There it is, less than a foot away from going out of bounds. The incredible Gold Fever sets the pace at 1.882 seconds. That's actually quicker than he ran during qualifying. And Mark Watrose's Team Rancho Thunderbird would like to improve. The elapsed time, 1.951 seconds, won't be enough to take over the lead. Watrose's conservatism hurt him there. Now it's Jeff Acker, the Insanity Roadster out of Milwaukee. He shuts off early as well. He barely stops in time. And the elapsed time, 1.80 seconds. A simply amazing run. The helmet comes off. And as a touring professional, there is nothing sweeter than taking over the lead with one more man to go. Who would have ever thought that this course would have come around like this?
I don't know. It sure did start to hold power pretty decent. And I don't know, as long as you can get it stopped, you should be able to get a nice time. And I don't know, there's one stiff one back there yet. We'll see what happens.
One real tough one. Great job. 180.
Thank you very much.
Incredible. Looking at the replay, the launch was perfect, and he shut it down about 3 feet early in order to stop. He takes the lead, and this man must unload a big one to take the #1 spot and the victory. Tom Martin ran 1.899 seconds in qualifying. You just saw Jeff Acker improve 13 hundredths from his qualifying run, and Martin must do the same if he expects to win this event. He's got to go quicker than Acker's 1.803 second effort. Readying himself. Comes completely out of the pit. All 4 wheels airborne at the halfway mark. Martin slams his fist down in disgust. Jeff Acker wins the Super Modified Championship, and he looks like he can't even believe it. Look at Martin airborne into mid-range. He stopped in plenty of time. The elapsed time, 1.862 seconds. Unbelievable run considering the problems he had. The crowd can't believe it. The world champ gets beaten again in 1991 by the man who is chasing him down to stop the Tom Martin hierarchy in super modified mud racing. As the helmet comes off of certainly the killer in the super modified ranks, you have to wonder what's going through his mind. If I had to guess, Tom, was I right in assuming that you shut the engine off because you couldn't see anything because the front end was so high?
Yeah, I thought I was going left on the track, and I had to back out. You know, it felt pretty good, but if you can't see, you gotta back out.
But you shut it off at an honest 50 feet. It was literally just past half track that you shut it off, maybe 55 feet, and it still went 186. Would it have been good enough, do you think?
Oh, I think it would have. But, you know, you drive on instinct, and I didn't want to DQ, and if you can't see, you can't go.
One thing's for sure, after so many years of dominating this class, you know these guys are breathing down your neck.
Oh, yeah, but we got a long season to go, and I'm hanging on second. It's going to be tough.
Indeed it is, but you still got second place here tonight, and I'm going to add some points up, so great job.
Second place is pretty good.
Well, Peter Roth from the Camel team congratulates Jeff Acker, the Insanity Machine. Acker's got to be thinking about that possible world championship and becoming the first man to knock Martin out of the #1 spot in this sport since 1987. As we get ready for the Monster Truck final round here at the Saint Paul Civic Center, Todd Blazier is ready with Barefoot, but there's an interesting story behind the young man from Wisconsin.